I actually have Christmassy nails for once. Look at that magic. They're so ugly though. I did not have the patience. It was 3 a.m. Hi guys! So it is the 23rd of December today. And I thought a lot about what videos I should do recently. And about life and death and everything in between. So I thought I would sit down for a second and talk to you all, because there are a few videos coming, or like my monthly highlights have been here, and like they're what I do just because I want to put out a monthly highlight video every month, but not super proud of them because I was mainly just working in October, and then November was pretty cool. But like my main thing I figured out in the recent past is like travel videos, travel vlogs. I love doing them. I love sitting somewhere just for an hour just to get a good time lapse. I love showcasing to you what it feels like to travel for 3 weeks, what you need to pack, what happens if you meet amazing people along the way. Like, anyway, you get it. This is what I'm really passionate about. And in the meantime, when I'm not traveling, I will do a few like occasional challenges and things. I'm kind of worried sometimes that I will lose some of my viewers over this, because I know some are specifically here for the travel vlogs, some are just here in general because they have been interested in my videos. Thank you a lot for that. I don't know. I'm feeling good and positive about it, but I just want to let you know there is gonna be a mix sometimes of completely different styles, just because I like to do a chatty video as well at some point, and then I will be back to traveling. So in 2.5 weeks I'm embarking on a journey to Norway, and that will be pretty epic. So if you don't want to watch the videos in between, just wait until mid-January comes around and you will see me traveling again and filming every day. But now I want to do a video today because it's Christmas, and this is gonna be quite a serious video because it's right. So some of you might be coming home over the holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or any other holiday, or just have time off and you go home to visit your family. Some of you might be going home and there's not a very supportive network of family members waiting for you. There might be hard stuff you're going through at home or with yourself personally. And instead of like making like a holiday DIY or something, I wanted to contribute something this Christmas or this holiday season and just make a video about life and death. Because why not? That's the kind of person I am. So I want you to know that if you're coming home to a difficult situation these holidays, please push through it and keep going, because of several things I will go into now, but also just do it in general. I will link a video in the description, and it's like not the most supportive, like it's not, I don't think this video was made, or this film, it's a short film, was made for simply like supporting people that go through this, but I will link it in the description. It's a brilliant short film that really is about the topic of suicide and suicide prevention to some extent. And there's something that I never really understood, and it really clicks in that video. And when I was watching this, I was like, right, I think that's the reason that I've always had in the back of my mind, and which is a thing that I always thought there must be a thing that's valuable and that makes sense, but yeah, I couldn't quite verbalize it. But this short film showcases that quite nicely, so go give that a watch if you have time and if you're interested. And I will also link some support pages below. But what I want to talk about is why we're living. Due to some personal reasons, recently I have thought a lot about life and death, and well, I do that anyways, but like in a larger sense. And why this is such a thing that we all obsess about, and like obviously we will never know why life is specifically worth it, or why we think that some things are worth our time more or less. I mean, obviously there are emotions involved, there's like meaning to things, and if we do something that makes us feel good about it, or that makes other people feel good, that already gives it meaning in itself. But also, like, I think my hair looks like shit, but that's really not important here because I'm making a video about life and death and not about hairstyles. Well, that doesn't look much better, does it? Or does it? Maybe. Let's leave that for now. I'm such an indecisive person, literally the worst. I thought about what I'm gonna say in this video, and I was like, not even gonna bother writing a script because I never stick to them. So one huge thing, let me just give you like what's going on in here. So recently I was thinking so much whether or not it is worth building something up with your life that you then have to let go anyways. So why would you have an amazing family if maybe at one point halfway through your life you just die and you leave behind so many hurt and lost people and projects? And why would you bother cleaning the dishes every evening when you could not be here tomorrow? Why would you bother? This already came up when I went to school still. Why would I bother getting up every morning and going and sitting in lessons and lectures for hours and hours that didn't even really teach me the things that seemed important to me? If I could just get run over by a bus the next day and like have all this education and all this pointless writing essays for nothing. So this has always been a thing in my life where I was like, what really am I doing this for, and why do we build everything up? Why don't we just go day by day and then in the end maybe leave nothing, because we just lived every single day and we didn't really possess things, and like we would value time in a completely different way, because it wouldn't be something like I have to do this tomorrow and I have to do this next week and oh my god, in a year I'm gonna have to do this. So I was thinking a lot about what are we doing things for, why are we living, and what are we living for, and is it better leaving everything behind or nothing? And by everything I mean like a social network of people, friends, family, art projects, or from your job. I think we should always leave behind everything. And that short film that I mentioned earlier, I think it's called The Fleeting Little Life of Peter Wright. Right this second I realized I did not even put makeup on for this video, which I usually never do when I just sit down and talk, but that's okay. I look somewhat alright. We should always leave behind everything. And why should we do that? I think it's like the best thing possible if you go from your life and there is so much that you left. Sometimes this interferes with my social anxiety as well. Like, why should I go out and meet new people? Like, is it worth like going through the trouble of like, oh, and then, you know, sometimes I think of friendships, not like my close friendships that I've had for years, but like those brief ones that you have for like a few weeks or months, and then you're like kind of drifting apart again because you don't really see each other and you don't really have that much in common. You just met at some friend's party or like, you know. And I usually think like, why would I go through the trouble of like going there and then having to like introduce myself to everyone, like I do this, I do that, blah, and no one really cares and no one really wants to know how you're doing or what you're doing with your life. My point is, meet those people, why not? And like, sometimes it might seem wrong, sometimes you might rather stay at home and write something for yourself, or watch a good film that makes you think, or read a book, and that's completely fine. But like, don't ever go at a situation like this with a mindset that's like, I shouldn't go and meet those people because it's not worth it in the sense of time in my life, because, or like in a sense of you are taking their time and you're not worth their time. It's also a huge question of self-worth, because I honestly think that as long as you're true to yourself, you're never wasting time. People can't tell you if you're wasting their time. It's always their fault if they are spending a lot of time with you and then afterwards go like, oh, you just wasted my time. Like, first of all, no one's really ever gonna say that to you, and otherwise they are brutally honest, which is in some way good, and also stupid, because they could have just said that in the first place. Like, sorry, but like, I have other things that I would rather be doing right now. I do that sometimes. I know it's really rude, but I'm not gonna have the regret or the weird feeling of having to tell someone after weeks and weeks of seeing them or meeting them that they were not worth my time from the beginning. So does anybody really see where I'm going with this? Please write me something down below if you can see where I'm going, because like, I know this is very confusing, like it's train of thought kind of thing. It's like, my mind is all over the place. But if you leave behind like unfinished projects, if you leave behind a little kid or a wife or a husband or friends that are gonna take a while to get over this loss and to get over realizing, or to get to the point of realizing that you're now no longer here, or the other way around, if you are the friend that has to realize that someone else is no longer here. Like, it's always so much better. Like, would you ever say, if your parents die, would you ever say, I rather wouldn't have known them? Like, no, you would not say that. Like, unless it's been a really bad relationship, and then of course that's something different. But like, if you have good friends, you will always spending time with them and knowing that you were in their lives and they were in yours, over the fact that you're gonna lose them or they're gonna lose you someday. So like, why not, you know? And I think this is a huge part of why we're living, is because we want to get to a point where we could lose everything. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be, I think. We get to a point where we can lose everything, and that's where we should be going. Because if we never get to this point, what are we really living for? Like, why are we going through all this time and trouble and hardship and paying your insurance and shit? I was hesitating for that for a bit. If it's not for the cause of actually getting to a point one day where we have so much and we are working on so much and we are fulfilling ourselves in such a way that we are so scared of losing everything. I think that's the best we can do, really. And I also think you should never stop, because even at age 80, you can still have so much going on around you. And you can still have so many connections and so many people around you, and you can still be working on so many relationships and changing and evolving, that you still have so much to lose. And yes, of course, you can also, it's fine if you at the same time come to terms at some point with, I will die and it's fine now because I've seen the world and I've seen so much. But you still have a lot to lose. And that doesn't mean that you have to be terrified of losing it, but you have, like, if you never stop building yourself up and building your thoughts and your life and your, like, whether that is at work or, like I said, in your personal friendships and relationships, never stop building yourself and your life up, because you will always get more and more that you can lose. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that we can do, we can achieve as human beings, because let's be honest, there's not that many beautiful and happy things in this world anymore. But why would you shut down and not I'm not saying this in like, oh, you're depressed, like get a grip. I'm not like, I know what that's like. And I'm obviously talking not like, oh, tomorrow just get up and be happy and build your life up, but like I'm saying, if you're looking for a reason why that might be, there are many reasons, but if you're looking for a thing to pull you up and like be like, I should meet this friend again, and I should hang out with those people, and I should try to finish this project because it might lead to something else, and that might lead to something else. And even if you're like, oh, why even bother? Just do something, and then you'll see that it might lead to something else. And otherwise, just try going into a different direction. Try going to another event where you might meet other people that bring you a new horizon and bring new friendships into your life and new thoughts and new conversations. Because the more you build up, the more you'll have to lose. And even though that is absolutely terrifying, it's so much better than having nothing to lose. And therefore not caring at all. I really hope you could somehow follow this. I don't know if it's a really obvious thought that everybody knows and that's like common knowledge, and I've just only realized that this year, or if that's something that actually got someone thinking. So if you have any thoughts on that, or if this video has provoked any thoughts or conversation at all, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. And if you need help, I'm always here for you. Like seriously, send me a message on Twitter. I don't care. I care about you, but I don't care if you send me a message at 3 AM. I will either wake up because my phone's always on, or I will reply to you in the morning. But also if you need help from someone, and like not in a way of just me sending you a number or me telling you as much as I said now, then please go and seek that help, because you never know. You might have a brilliant life 20 years from now, and yes, 20 years of going through crap is a long time, but you can never imagine how happy you could actually be in 20 years. You can literally never know. You can never know. In 20 years you might be living somewhere on a little island, or like in a different country with an amazing partner and have beautiful kids, or like have beautiful grandkids that are running around your garden whilst you are baking for them, or whilst you are playing the dopest music ever, or writing books, or maybe you live in a chocolate factory, maybe you build up your own business. You literally never know. You might meet someone the next day on the street or in a cafe that's like, hey, I want to do this project, do you have any time, do you want to help me? You might find something online where you can join. There are people that are giving away literal like hotels or like bed and breakfasts, and all you have to do to own that place is write an essay. There's everything. You look these days, the good thing is you can find everything, and if you push through until you find that, you have no idea how happy you could be, how much you could have, and how much you could have to lose. So I hope this was something that you enjoyed, featuring my Christmas tree and some candles. I'm not really in the festive mood yet, so I'm trying my best with like nails and tree and everything, but I hope you have a good Christmas or a good holiday, and I really hope you get something out of these days, and you get some peace and some time for yourself and some time with your friends or your family. And let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Let me know what you thought about this video, and take care as always. Bye.